9:13 in the morning. It's Indiana in the morning on WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. So happy this morning to welcome into the studio Cari Moss Loop, who joins us this morning from basically across the street at the Jimmy Stewart Museum, but more importantly, from a lifetime spent talking about It's a Wonderful Life and her mom's career as an actress and your life. It's a really fascinating story you tell. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Todd. It's great to be back in Indiana.
I'm glad you're here.
I think this is my third or fourth year coming back to the festival.
Really?
Invited by the museum to share stories of my mom's legacy and her impressions of the movie. It's just wonderful. It's a nice snowy morning.
Our visit this morning, presented by Marcus and Mack, voted Best Law Firm and Best Personal Injury Lawyer 3 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. You were telling me a couple of moments ago, you actually have the notes that your mom took.
Yes.
For performing in It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes. Yes. So Mr. Capra chose my mom because he believed in her acting abilities, but he also knew her business acumen. She was a sharp business person who actually started a design and merchandising company during her tenure in Hollywood. So based on that, he asked her to share those backstories of what was going on during the production of It's a Wonderful Life, and help promote the film. So help market the film to others in the Hollywood community and Los Angeles and actually throughout California.
I'm guessing there are not a lot of people who are up there on the screen who have that sort of background.
Yes.
That they're asked to do something like that. Your mom evidently was very happy to do it, though.
Oh, yeah. She loved it, and she put together quite a few stories. She collaborated with Mr. Capra to come up with a few, and if you'd like me to read a couple, I'd be happy to.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Mr. Capra, so this is her words. Mr. Capra had a lovely tradition of celebrating birthdays of actors on the set. We had 3 birthday celebrations during the production. Lionel Barrymore celebrated his 68th birthday, Jimmy Stewart his 38th birthday, and Frank Capra his birthday. Mr. Capra also observed his 20th year as a director last month. I was also to be celebrated on June 25th, my birthday, which was the day the crew was shooting the last scene of the movie. I came down with the mumps, so not only did I miss being in the last scene of the movie, but Mr. Capra celebrating my 21st birthday.
How about that? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Is that your mother's handwriting there?
Yes.
My goodness.
And this is her, she typed this up. She had a typewriter. She loved to write and was in the process of writing a novel, actually. Here's another one that I thought would be pertinent to where I am today. Another chuckle was given the troupe by Jimmy Stewart's father, Mr. Alex Stewart, who, with his wife, Jimmy's mother, was visiting Jimmy from their home in Indiana, Pennsylvania. The chuckle was brought about one night at the RKO Ranch in Encino, where we were doing night shots, following the shooting of a scene in which Jimmy and Donna Reed, who is Jimmy's co-star in It's a Wonderful Life, were singing Buffalo Gal. After Mr. Capra was satisfied with the scene, Jimmy walked over to his folks and asked them how they liked his singing. Mr. Stewart wasn't the least bit impressed and remarked rather dryly, "You're tall and skinny like Sinatra, but that's where the resemblance ends. Your singing is awful." Isn't that great?
That's wonderful.
Yeah. What's another one? Another one is, I suppose that many of you are interested in Jimmy Stewart's war experiences and about his romances. Those are 2 things I can't tell you a thing about. for the simple reason that Jimmy has labeled them taboo and refuses to talk, mention, or hint at anything pertaining to those subjects.
Oh, yeah.
He'll talk for hours about acting or golf or fishing, but shuts up like a clam when the Army or girls are mentioned. I think everybody knew that about him anyway, but I thought that was fun.
We had the book author in a few years ago who was talking about how Jimmy actually used his war experiences to get into some of the deeper aspects of George Bailey. And it was very, very, he actually used that as a tool for the movie. Now, your mom, she gets onto this movie set, and she's seeing all of this happen. She's just a young lady. She's 21 years old.
Yeah, no, she's actually 20.
She's 20.
She's 20 when the scene was shot at the Pasadena train station. But she came out of Portland, Oregon. A drama coach from Warner Brothers happened to be in her audience during her senior play. And when the senior play was completed and the curtain had been drawn, that person asked my mom to audition for her. And after that, within a week, they signed her to a 7-year contract with Warner Brothers.
Wow.
So she graduated in June of 1942. She was 17 years old, and Warner Brothers moved her and her parents to Hollywood. And they put her in a bungalow with her family, just blocks from the studio. And she went every day to Warner Brothers. It was during the war, so everyone stepped up to the war effort, and she was responsible. For newspaper drives. She had to go to school on the Warner Brothers schoolhouse grounds because state law said that you have to go to school before you're 18. So she was going to school with Mickey Rooney, Joan Leslie, and a few others. But she enjoyed that and was part of that whole movement. But she was there for 7 years because of it, the 7-year contract.
Now, where were you raised?
I was raised in Ann Arbor.
Oh, okay.
Ann Arbor, Michigan. My parents got married after my mom left Hollywood. She intentionally left Hollywood because she wanted to marry my dad and start a family and engage in the community and really be integral to a family unit.
And when did young Cari find out Mom once was an actress and she was in the movies?
Yes. It wasn't well known. Well, my mom never talked about it. We would sometimes watch Shirley Temple movies. The movie didn't become public domain until the 1970s. So it really wasn't shown and it really wasn't talked about by anyone. So it wasn't until I think maybe I was a teenager, right around that time, that I had a hint. But she was so good at teaching me how to do stage falls on the kitchen floor. And, yeah, she was fun. She was adventurous. She got me involved with so many things. She was engaging. The kids in the neighborhood loved coming to our house. So that was kind of the central place because they never knew what to expect.
Was there a moment when you were growing up, after you had discovered who Mom really was, was there a moment when you sat down with her and you said, Mom, this life that you've led is fascinating. How did it all come to be? Did you actually have that talk with her about her previous life?
Well, I did because I was natural person to be her historian, to be her biographer. She taught me how to write. She was an excellent writer, and she loved to do creative writing. And we sat down, and we did that a lot when I was a young child. So it was natural that my interest in her background and my ability to convey that in written word, I think she loved it. So she asked me to do that, and we really stepped that up before she died, which was just a couple of years ago.
Cari Moss Loop is with us this morning, and this you said this is your third time back.
Yes.
For the festival
For
itself.
the festival, yes.
Yeah, and 1993 there was a reunion of cast members here. Or
Yes.
Where was that?
Yeah, no, it was in Indiana, Pennsylvania,
Oh, yeah.
and it was the first time the cast, the entire cast, had gotten together since the production had been completed in 1946. So that is 31. No, that's 47 years ago. So 47 years ago is when they all got together, and they were invited by the reunion committee here in Indiana to come out and talk to the fans and experience. This was the second year of the festival here at Indiana.
Yeah.
1992, I think, is when you started. So they loved it. They had a very full schedule. They had a gala on Saturday night. They were in a parade. They met fans, and it was a great opportunity to talk about Capra's vision in Jimmy Stewart's hometown.
So your third time back now.
Yeah.
And you're actually going to be appearing at the museum.
Yes, I'm going to be there today and tomorrow, talking about my mom's legacy and her experiences being in the movie It's a Wonderful Life. She was also in 13 other movies, some unaccredited, some accredited. And there's a lot to her life that I would love to share.
Oh, I'm sure.
And yeah,
What is the schedule for you?
I think today it's until noon, and then the afternoon is 1:30 to 4, and I believe it's the same thing tomorrow.
Okay. So you're headed out of here and right back across the street then
Yes,
to the
yeah.
museum.
Well, the museum is stellar. I mean, it's got so many wonderful displays and rotating exhibits, and Janie has done a wonderful job depicting each aspect of Jimmy Stewart's life. So you got to go see that anyway.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, I am going to be there, and she also was kind enough to put together an ornament right after my mom died in August of 2022, and that's over there, and I've been signing that over those 2 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so everybody loves that as well.
Yeah.
It's just a very, very nice environment what they've created.
So folks can come and meet Cari this today and again tomorrow at the Jimmy Stewart Museum. It sounds like it's going to be a fascinating time too, just to sit and listen.
It is. I think one of the best gifts I've received is sharing the stories of the fans that have told me how their experiences have been affected by watching that movie.
Yeah.
It's that we're all valued, that you're valued, and we all are. And Mr. Capra did a great job in conveying that message.
Yeah. Wow. I'd love to have been in your position to talk to your mom down through. She sounds like she was fascinating.
She was. She was a multifaceted businesswoman who enjoyed acting and enjoyed that brief part of her life, but went on to accomplish so much more in Ann Arbor. And she was my Girl Scout leader for 7 years, and she did so much.
Wow.
She was volunteering and
It is so good to meet you.
yeah.
When you come back the next time, whenever that is,
Okay.
we need to get a longer block of time that we can visit with you longer.
Yeah, I'll share more of those stories.
Oh, wonderful.
Because there's a lot more fun things to share.
Wonderful. Boys and girls, go hear the stories today and tomorrow at the Jimmy Stewart Museum with Cari Moss Loop. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. 9:27 this morning. We're running a little bit long, but that's okay. We've got news coming up bottom of the hour. And Kevin Laser going to check in with us in a second via Career Link. We'll find out about jobs, too. Okay, it's Indiana in the Morning on WCCS. It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. Kevin Laser, PA Career Link, joins us on the line this morning, and we find out about jobs and such. Kevin, good morning.
Good morning, Todd. How are you this morning?
Wonderful. How about you?
Oh, can't complain. Four-letter word is snow.
Yeah, the four-letter word. You're right. My